Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Shirani. Today I'm going to show you how to make Belizean stuffed jack. Okay, so for this recipe you're going to need some flour tortilla dough, and I'm not showing you in this video how to knead flour because I have videos up on my channel already showing you how to knead flour by hand and in a stand mixer, so I'm going to leave those links below for you so you can check them out. Make sure to stay to the very end of the video. I'm going to show you how I freeze my flour tortilla dough. This is a very good tip, so you don't want to miss it. For the filling, I'm going to use some ground beef, and I like to keep my ground beef really simple, so here's a list of the ingredients I put in mine. I'm using some refried beans that I made from scratch, and I have a video up on my channel already showing you how I make my refried beans, so I'm going to leave that link below for you. I went ahead and scrambled up some eggs, and then I'm also using some shredded cheese. Okay, so what you're going to do is take a piece of your flour tortilla dough and put it in your hand, and you're going to press it out and then flap it. I usually flap it because that's how I make my tortilla, but I know not everyone makes their tortilla like that, so if you need to use a rolling pin or whatever you need to press it out, just go ahead and do that. You don't want to do this all the way as if you're making a tortilla, so you don't want it too thin, because if it's too thin then it's going to tear and you don't want that. Use your fingers or the palm of your hand to press out the edge. You just want it to be even. You're going to take one big spoon of your refried beans and put on one side of the tortilla, and don't go all the way to the edge. You want to leave some room so when you fold it over you can seal it. And then I'm going to put a generous amount of the ground beef on top of that, and some of the shredded cheese, and I'm just using cheddar cheese. You're going to fold that over, and you want to make sure the edges are touching so you can seal it properly. The worst thing that can happen to you is if it's not sealed tight enough, so you just have to make sure you press it down and make sure it's sealed. When it comes to picking it up off the counter, I find that if you pick it up from the top like this, that just stretch it out and you feel like it's going to tear. So it's easier if you just lift the bottom edge first. So just lift up the bottom and then you pick it up off the counter. I forgot to mention that while I was putting everything together, I had my oil heating up. Fry this between medium to medium high heat, and you're going to let it fry until it's nice and golden brown. I let it fry for about 20 to 30 seconds on one side and then flip it over to the next side. I don't let it completely fry on one side, I keep turning it. I have to say it's kind of frustrating to fry anything with this stove because it don't really hold the heat. I had this on number 8, but the way this one works is it heats up and then it cools down a little bit, heats back up, cool down, so it don't really hold the heat. And if you know anything about making fried jack or any kind of fried food, you want that steady heat, and I don't get that with this, so that always frustrates me when I have to fry anything. When it comes to making the stuffed jack, I don't think there's any right or wrong way to do it. Everyone makes it a little bit different, Some people, what they do is they fry the tortilla and then cut it open and stuff it, and then some do it like this. Some just fry a tortilla and then put the stuff in there and fold it over. So it depends on where you get your stuffed jack from. It all looks different from different people. If you're wondering why it's called a stuffed jack, it's because it's a Belizean fried jack. And if you've never had a fried jack is a fried tortilla. So it's just like a fried jack with stuffing in it. There are so many ways you can stuff this, and I think you can stuff it with whatever you want. Some people like do breakfast options with ham and cheese and egg and all that stuff. Some do meat, some do beans and cheese. So whatever you want to put in there, it's up to you. I'm just going to put it on a paper towel to drain. Okay, with this one, I'm going to do egg and cheese. You can cook up some bacon and eggs and put it with your cheese. I mean, that would be good too. Remember, you don't want to press this out all the way as if you're making a tortilla. So I would say like 3/4 of the way. Or 3/4. Ay. Oh my gosh, sometimes it's just hard to talk English. Ay. Make sure your edges are touching and you seal it properly. Don't forget, you don't want to lift it up from the top. That's going to tear it or it's going to be too thin. Make sure you lift it up from the bottom first. If you've ever had stuffed jack before or you make your own stuffed jack at home, let me know what you like to put in your stuffed jack. Oh my gosh, look how pretty these are. These were so hot, I was burning my fingers trying to tear them open. But oh my gosh, would you just look at that? If you've never made anything from my channel before, you need to make this because it's just so good. You might think this is a lot of work, but it's easier if you have everything prepared and just have it in the fridge and then the next day you make it, or you use whatever you have left over and make it. I find that it's just easier if I have my meat already cooked up in the fridge and I have refried beans from the day before, and I just use leftover stuff. That just makes it easier than to just have to go cook everything and then make this. It is greasy, but I mean, it is fried, so what else do you expect, right? But you have to try it. Oh, I love the one with the egg and cheese too, though. This is hard because I can't decide which one I like. I like them all. I think my personal favorite is the meat, beans, and cheese though. You just can't go wrong with that one. Just in case you've missed this tip on how to freeze your flour tortilla dough in my other videos, I want to show you it again. For this, you're going to need some wax paper, and I like to cut the wax paper just big enough to where I can wrap the dough in there. I kneaded my flour yesterday, and when I do that, I usually knead a lot because I always like to freeze some. Ever since I've been doing it in a stand mixer, oh my gosh, that just makes it so easy. I don't ever want to go back to doing it by hand. I mean, I would if I have to, but I don't want to. What you're going to do is take one piece of your dough and put it on a piece of wax paper and wrap it. And that's it, easy as that. I like to individually wrap each one because then when you're ready to take it out of the freezer, you can just take out how much you need. You don't have to take out the whole big dish, or if you were to freeze everything together. So it's just easier this way. I love doing this because sometimes when you need flour, you have a lot of dough and it goes bad really quick. I don't like when you put it in the fridge and next thing you know it start to get what you call it, black. That's how we say it, get black, but not really black. But I don't like that. I like when it look nice and pretty, so freezing it is the best option. This video I have up of me kneading flour by hand is very old. Oh my gosh, it makes me cringe to look at my old videos. I can't even stand to look at them sometimes. I just made a move so slow. Oh my gosh. But I still like move slow, so don't get me wrong. I just move a little bit faster. But I mean, my favorite phrase is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, why make a new video? Nothing changed about this one. I still use the same recipe. So yeah. And this one in the mixer is my favorite way. That just makes it so easy. If you grew up in Belize, or if you need flour for your whole life, you know how hard it is to need flour. Nobody like need flour. So ever since I start doing it in my mixer, that's the only way I do it. Okay, and the very last thing you want to do is make sure to put the date on your bag and what you have in your bag. And that's it, then it's ready to go in the freezer. So say if you want 2 tortillas tomorrow, well, you just take out 2 from the freezer and put it in the bottom of the fridge. So by tomorrow morning, it will be ready for you. It will be just as fresh and nice as if you just need your flour. Or if you don't have a lot of time, you can take it out, say if you want it this evening. You can take it out around lunchtime, but you don't put it in the fridge, just leave it out on the counter, and in a few hours it will be ready. Remember, you don't ever want to put it in a microwave, that will mess it up.